East Prussia, winter of 1944. Snow lies over the fir trees like a heavy white veil. At the edge of the forest stands a panther, silent, waiting, its engine warm, its interior tight like the inside of a rib cage. Inside, 5 men. The gunner wipes soot from his forehead. The radio operator tugs nervously at his headset. The driver rests his hands on the levers, the steel beneath them trembling like an animal holding back its strength. Then the impact comes. No deafening explosion, just a short, dull punch, as if someone drove a heavy hammer into the tank's stomach. The lights flicker. Metal splinters dance through the crew compartment. Someone screams, or maybe it's just the echo of the blast. The Panther tilts slightly, the steel floor vibrating. The driver tries to open his hatch. It jams. The loader feels for the handles in the darkness, but the smoke blinds him. And while silence hangs outside, a smell of oil, heat, and fear fills the lungs inside. What really happens in this moment? When a Panther is hit, and 5 men must fight for their lives inside a steel room. The Panther was one of the most impressive machines of the German armored forces. Its sloped front armor, the long reach of its 7.5-centimeter KWK-42, and its surprising mobility made it, for many crews, a symbol of strength and superiority. But the Panther had another reality, one that was rarely spoken of: its vulnerable sides, its thin lower hull armor, its fragile transmission, its overheating-prone engine, and above all, its narrow, twisting interior. A place that could turn into a trap the moment a shell struck it. By 1943-45, Panthers increasingly found themselves in situations where not the front armor but flank shots, anti-tank rifles, bazookas, or artillery fragments delivered the decisive blow. For the crew, this meant a hit didn't just destroy the machine. It created a window of mere seconds in which 5 men beneath 45 tons of metal, and with only a few centimeters of steel between life and death, had to decide how to survive. The Allies knew these weaknesses, and they exploited them ruthlessly. Every commander, every gunner, every driver understood a Panther was a powerful weapon, but it was also a place where mistakes were deadlier than outside. This tension between strength and fragility followed every mission. The Panther was a machine built on compromises. It emerged from a race between German engineering and the unrelenting pressure of war. Its interior was divided into 3 sections: the driver's compartment, the fighting compartment, and the engine bay. 5 men, each with a defined task and only inches of space. The driver and radio operator sat in front, the gunner and loader in the turret, the commander above them, half in the open, half inside steel. The turret was cramped, so cramped that the loader brushed the gunner's shoulder with every movement. Ammunition was stored in the turret basket and hull. Easy to reach, but lethal if hit. The complicated Maybach HL230 engine gave the Panther power, but also tremendous heat and serious fire risk. Engineers knew even in the factory that a side hit into the engine bay could turn the steel into an oven. They knew the electrical system was fragile. They knew the Dream Tank offered almost no escape routes when flames erupted. But the pressure of the war was stronger. A counter to the T-34 was needed, and the Panther had to reach the front fast. Thus, a machine was created that frightened its enemies, and sometimes its own crew as well. For a Panther crew, every mission began with a ritual of checks, motions, and silent anticipation. The driver tested the levers. The commander scanned the horizon through his periscope. The gunner turned the turret a few degrees to shorten his reaction time. The loader kept a shell within arm's reach, ready to slam it into the breach. In combat, the Panther was powerful, but clumsy if positioned poorly. A T-34 or Sherman could flank it. Artillery could jam a hatch. A bazooka could annihilate it at close range. Routine inside a Panther meant always get the first shot off, always spot earlier, always have an escape route. But the battlefield had rules of its own. A muddy path, a jammed traverse mechanism, a radio message that arrived too late. And the Panther became an immobile target. Even a glancing hit without full penetration could stun the crew for critical seconds. Seconds in which the enemy was already reloading. When a Panther was struck, the outcome depended on angle, caliber, and luck. A shell that pierced the fighting compartment created one nightmare. A shot that penetrated the engine bay created another. Either could kill instantly. Heat spread within seconds. Fragments tore into legs, hands, faces. The loader was the most exposed. He had almost no protection, and the ammunition lay all around him. If the gunner was hit, no one could fire accurately. If the driver was wounded, the Panther became a coffin that couldn't move. The hatch could jam. The commander could be knocked unconscious. Hydraulic fluid could ignite. And worst of all, the ammunition could cook off. Many surviving crewmen said that they had only seconds to decide their fate, stay and fight the fire, or escape and risk being gunned down outside. A Panther was formidable, but inside it was a web of vulnerable points. A hit could heat the steel, kill the electrics, trigger smoke discharges, or ignite oil. Only fast decisions gave any chance to survive. 3 waves of terror. Wave 1, the turret hit. An armor-piercing round slams into the turret ring. The turret jams. The gunner loses orientation, the loader can't work anymore. Smoke fills the interior. For seconds, the crew fights blind. Outside, a hostile tank maneuvers for the next shot. Inside, the commander struggles to keep his men coordinated until a second impact ends the fight. Wave 2, the engine fire. A hit through the side armor ignites oil. Heat builds instantly. The driver feels his pedals glowing beneath his boots. The cooling fan sucks smoke into the fighting compartment. The commander shouts, "Out!" The hatch jams. The radio operator kicks it until the metal finally yields. Outside, machine gun bursts tear into the snow. Every exit is a roll of the dice. Wave 3, the ammunition explosion. A penetrating hit tears open the ammo storage. Not every shell explodes at once. But fragments rupture casings, and a single spark is enough. The turret lifts, the Panther breaks apart from the inside. Many crews never had a chance. Even if the blast didn't kill them instantly, heat and smoke made escape impossible. Battlefield reports were consistent. A Panther was a powerful enemy. But under fire, its 5 men became prisoners of the very machine meant to protect them. The men who survived carried the experience of a hit with them for life. They spoke of sounds they never forgot. The screech of an tearing steel, the flicker of a burning oil line, the shout of a comrade who vanished behind smoke. The Panther itself became a lesson. After the war, engineers in East and West studied its penetration patterns, its vulnerabilities, and its structural flaws. Many features of modern tank design, from escape routes to fire suppression to ammo placement, were born from the Panther's failures. But one truth remained. Tank warfare was never a duel between machines. It was always a battle fought by men sealed inside steel, with only seconds to survive. The Panther revealed both the strength of the technology and the fragility of those inside it. Today, a few Panthers stand in museums. Their hulls are cold, their hatches open. Anyone who looks inside doesn't see a battlefield, just a cramped space, and the faint echo of what a single hit could unleash. The steel is silent, but in that silence rests the memory of 5 men who had only seconds to choose life or death.